finals. Both players we have not seen yet. Obviously, they're both really, really good.
DVT, who's off racing?
The rank.
Whoa!
Look at that fancy split. That's the F1 splits.
That was interesting.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so I'm going to close this, and I'm waiting for something.
Mr. Maximus Black.
Yeah.
Hit me up with the noise that your foot made when you kicked the machine for my Mars bar. Don't kick your computer.
Yeah,
That's
no.
a bad decision. There you go. That works.
Yep. And then I'll make the noise when I put when I get my Smarties. Try another build. Yeah, Smarties.
Please tell me you actually cheered.
Yeah, I did.
Right in the middle of the theater, just like, yeah!
Smarties!
Everybody just turns around and is like,
woo! Starting down here in the bottom position, we have Divum, and over here on the left-hand side, we have RomeUrby. I'm going to call him Rome.
Just Rome works.
Rome.
I like Rome.
Rome works perfectly good.
Yep.
And both players are going to scout each other out very, very quickly. And in case you guys are tuning in, this is the semifinals of the European tournament. We are running 2 tournaments back-to-back, or kind of simultaneously. That's what I'm looking for. And both of them are in the semifinals, and we're just kind of going back and forth so you get the best of both worlds. And even though the last game was a silver platinum, it was a really interestingly good game.
Yes. No, absolutely. I actually really enjoyed that last game.
As well.
This is because of the positions right now, I feel like Rome might have a slight advantage.
From drops?
Just from drops and close air, and there's so much room for air to hang out on this map. That Terran, with all their OP air, can definitely do a lot of harassing quite easily here. Although at this level, Blink Stalker denial is actually quite frequent, and certainly something that can easily be done from this map as well if done correctly. And Divum with that epic F1 split, putting his probes to what seem to be the closest mineral patches because every 0.1 mineral difference counts.
He was being fancy.
He is getting all sorts of fancy.
So I'm very interested, intrigued, I guess, about this opening. That
so he looks like he's wanting really early pressure.
Yeah, he chronoed out. He got a zealot. Usually when I'm playing Terran, I don't even bother getting a zealot, and I'll go and grab a stalker and kind of deny that SCV from getting any kind of scouting information.
Go right out.
And it looks like he's going to push and apply some pressure.
I like this.
I do too, but he's kind of doing it a little blindly. Let me see here. He doesn't really know what's happening.
You have to assume, though, that you're probably going to, at this point, because of how early it is, that at most you're going to have 1 or 2 units, maybe a bunker.
Yeah, the concussive shell's already finished. There are 2 Marauders out.
Oh, it's good.
And if he gets into a bad position here at the choke, a couple of concussive shells are going to slow those units down enough where he's going to be able to pick those off very easily, and he might only lose maybe 1 unit, if
so
that.
This is a 4 gates.
I see 3 gates, and he's got 2 gas. He might be doing
a 3
gate into a Blink Stalker.
3 gate something.
Into a Blink Stalker build. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay,
but it looks like we're going to see a little bit of a 2 racks aggression here, and I think this might be bad news bears there for Rome because there is a proxy here, and if
by the time he gets down there,
if a sentry gets warped in here and he keeps denying this, he's going to be able to run up. Pardon me?
I know. I said cue the warp gates.
Oh,
what's
yes.
going to happen here is he's not even going to bother running back to base. I don't think.
Look at this.
Oh no, he is. He's forced to. He is going to do it. I was expecting to see a sentry.
No. Why not a sentry? He needed 1 sentry.
Oh, that's bad. He did get rid of one of those Marauders, though.
One.
I don't know. I'm expecting the second round of units to be warped up at Rome's base to take the pressure off, and he's going to be able to hold this with probes now. He's going to get rid of, obviously, the Marauders for the most part first, but this is not looking so good.
I don't like this. I really personally think that there should have been 1 sentry warped in.
Yeah.
He would have been able to do 1 force and then warp in a couple of units. Either Rome would have just backed off and went home.
Yep.
or by the time he got up here, he would have been able to handle that a lot more. He lost a stalker. He lost, what, how many probes there? A couple of probes.
Up here.
He is going to be moving up. There is no bunker down.
Whoa,
and he's expanding now.
He's going to GG this game right now. We're going to see him push up. There's no wall there. There's nothing for him to stop it. Divum's going to push up this ramp and basically win the game here if he handles this attack correctly.
Well, I think you might be jumping the gun a little bit, Adam. You never, ever count Terran out. I mean,
two zealots.
Well,
I mean, he's going to pull the SCVs,
these
obviously.
SCVs alone is going to stop.
Sentries.
And he's now double pumping Marines.
We're going to find out if he's going to block himself into a corner to stop all those SCVs. I want to see some epic Masters micro right here to win the game is what I want to see.
Well, you know, Rome's definitely going to need to do a little something here.
Oh my goodness, if he puts
a force field, but if he waits for this bunker to go up, that's going to be bad.
Divum's missed his window. He missed his window to do. If he didn't win, he would have done a lot of damage.
Yeah, he definitely would have done a lot of damage. He is getting an expansion, which is really, really nice. And Rome now knows he's in a little bit of trouble. He's quickly pulling off the SCVs to get ready to repair this bunker for what is finished. That command center is now finished as well. He's just going to use some OP mules. And, whoa. Kind of a little undecisive on what he was doing with those SCVs.
He didn't know if he was going to push.
More OP mules are activated. Still only 3 gates. A robo now going down for Divum. And Divum's just kind of sitting pretty. And at this point, Rome has got well enough to hold off
he waited way too long. Divum sat outside too long. He could have really just pushed up with stalkers and at least got rid of most of the units and maybe taken off a couple of SCVs before going back home. He is going to have the expansion up first before his opponent here, and that's probably the majority of why he's sitting out front. And he is going to deny that ramp here a bit and go away.
Honestly, Adam, I don't think his initial plan. He's going to lose that. He's going to lose that. That's bad.
I don't think it was.
I don't think his plan was to end the game.
I think he just wanted to get the expansion up first.
Yeah, he was just denying this as long as possible. So that there's no expansion to go up, and he's going to get an expand of his own. We take a look at the probes, 30 to 32. Of course, there is an OP mule out on the field, so he is going to be getting, an extra like 400 minerals because of that. But besides that, things are very close.
The Robo Bay. Yep. So we're just getting that Protoss, that kind of 2-base Colossus build that can really... what is that? Normally, though, if you're going to go... If it wasn't a rush scenario here and there wasn't that initial attack... That Colossus 2 base is usually, the attack window is around the 11.5 minute mark-ish, somewhere around there. We're not going to see that because of all of the back and forth that we saw, but it is going to be relatively soon. That Robo Bay is going to finish here very shortly.
Does not know about that proxy pylon.
And he didn't go up there. That's one of the first places you want to go, but it looks like Rome's getting a little bit aggressive.
That could really hurt him. I feel as that proxy pylon is going to play a huge, significant role in this game later on.
Nice observer there by Divum. He's going to see that.
So he knows it's coming. Well, also the probe knows it.
Well, this
is all
true.
Coming as well.
It's all true. But no, I like that he's following him around with the observer.
You know what? There is enough here to take this out. Proper force fields, especially in this engagement. That's a terrible spot for Rome.
Yeah, he's got this.
He quickly puts that down. And some decent force fields. Very nice. Cutting those units in half. This one Immortal is going to go to town. He's going to pick it off, and no, he does not. And this is going to be all the way bad for Rome. And he backs off a little bit too crazy with those force fields there at the end. But you know what? I'm loving it. Yep. I didn't notice if there was a Guardian Shield that went up there or not. I
think there was, yeah.
I would say
before he went in there.
Yeah, it was great defense. He lost barely anything.
And because that pylon's there, you can see a scouting zealot is now running in there to see the expansion is down here for Rome. He's just going to run in there. Oh, no, it's a probe. It's the probe that built the pylon. Sorry, I thought he built a zealot. First Colossus is coming out on the field, and it looks like we might see a 13-ish minute, maybe a little later attack here. We're going to see whether or not he's going to wait for the thermal lance to finish before he decides to go and push. But he might feel confident enough after that engagement, and it looks like he might be.
He has enough to win this game.
Absolutely.
He's going to win this game right now. Half of his units are over this way. Half of his units are over this way. I think this might be a misclick. I don't even know if he knows that those units are there. This is death. I mean,
there's the Colossus.
Yeah, this is going to go all the way bad. And there's the Observer, and the Observer sees those units, and he might be able to pick these off in transition over the other base. And
free kills.
A couple of free kills there, and every unit is so precious at this point. And I think this could be GG, especially if you can get one more Giraffe up here. That's going to be game. One Guardian Shield, a couple good force fields, have a Giraffe in the back, just penetrating all of these units. That's going to be it.
He's going to wait for Thermal Lance, I think, before he makes a push, unless Rome engages here, because Thermal Lance is literally about 15 seconds away from completing here. But he wants to be careful. Vikings are on their way now, and very. Oh, the Giraffe gets melted really quickly, and that's going to be destroyed. All of these Protoss units will likely go down, and if not, the vast majority will, and it's not going to be enough to win the game anymore.
Back up, back up. There comes the reinforcements, and the SCVs are coming
where
off
you
the
go
line.
home.
He needs to really watch some very, very nice
Go
force
home.
fields to save his units, and he backs off, and Adam was totally right. He definitely needed that that thermal lance, and it was also a very, very good concave from the Terran player. He didn't just bunch all of his units and run in. He did a nice little surround there and got a nice concave on that giraffe and picked it off very, very quickly.
Yeah,
very nice.
he went right for it. He probably, I mean, he would have done it anyway. You know, stim and go immediately for it, especially if there's only one giraffe in the pack. It is almost immediately going to be the first target.
I feel like 2 giraffes, that would have been it. 2
giraffes would have been pretty close. If Thermal Lance had finished and the giraffe didn't get caught because he didn't actually place a giraffe in the back, it was caught in the middle of the pack because I don't think he had actually positioned his units for an attack. He was waiting for that Thermal Lance.
Oh my god.
Oh, here we go. This is a partial, not quite an all-in, but it's a partial all-in here, and the SCVs apparently deciding that Manx is the worst thing in the world, wanting to get rid of him.
They were going over there and praying there for a second.
Yeah, he's not going to see the SCVs coming in here as meat shields, and this could actually be a lot of trouble with only one giraffe on the field.
I feel like this is an unnecessary risk. I mean, that's a lot of SCVs. There is a giraffe. There's a second giraffe coming out. Those force fields are doing damage.
Now he's got the giraffe in the right position.
Yeah, he's just that was just so unnecessary. So many SCVs down, and I think
Protoss is going to win this battle
he just
easily.
Put a nail in the coffin right there from that attack.
Yeah, that next giraffe is going to come out. There's going to be another warp in of units, and there's probably going to be a immediate counterattack here for Divum. And this time, see, that probably would have been the result of the first battle had that giraffe been in the right place. It went down too quickly though, and the force fields weren't great either. There is a second giraffe, and this is likely going to be a GG scenario. Should reinforcements continuously come in here for Divum, there's a massive food count difference, and I don't think there's a lot going to be able to do.
23 workers was killed in that engagement. That is huge, especially at this point in the game. 50 probes to 34 SCVs, and only 1 mule out on the field. The second giraffe is in position. There's a lot of sentries there with enough energy to put out some force
unit
fields.
placements this time.
And here we go. There's only 1 Viking, 2 Vikings out on the field. Another decent concave for the Terran, but I think this is really enough. But that giraffe is in a terrible position.
Again for the second time, and a second time he misplaces that giraffe.
Nice force field back here.
Nice force fields. We have some more zealots being warped in.
He needs
that
to
giraffe
pick off these Vikings. Oh my god!
Not paying attention to the Vikings. There was only 2
hold.
Vikings there.
He's gonna hold again.
There's only 2 Vikings there. 3 Vikings. I guess a third had come out. It looked like it was positioned to be sent out directly into the battle there, but it didn't have to attack anything. And Protoss is just barely going to take that minor victory here, and he's going to probably go for nothing but Blink Stalkers at this point.
Never mind.
Stalkers, and there's another reinforcement. And now this is going to be
he lost all of his SCVs.
Game over. He did. He lost all. He couldn't replenish that, and he just barely took it out there. Protoss still almost killed himself there.
Well, yeah. I mean, he did a significant damage to his econ. I mean, even if he lost everything. But still, it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, excuse me while I have this.
It was bad. That was.